Castlevania Bloodlines, released for the Genesis/Mega Drive in 1994. Bloodlines is the only Castlevania game for said system and is pretty different from most other Castlevania games. For one, it takes place in 1917 during World War I, and instead of only playing through Dracula's castle in Transylvania, you play through multiple European locations, like the Atlantis Shrine in Greece, the Leaning Tower of Pisa in Italy, and the Palace of Versailles in France. Another factor that sets it apart from others of its time is the gore. Sega was never scared to show rotting corpses being eaten by crows or have zombies splatter across the screen. You can play as two different characters, John Morris or Eric Lecard. John being the son of Quincy Morris, the Texan from the original Dracula novel, and I really like that detail of tying it back to the original source material. While John uses the traditional vampire killer whip from the other Castlevanias, Eric uses a unique spear weapon that powers up into a trident. Both characters have different abilities that can lead to different paths taken. John can use a whip to Indiana Jones style swing, while Eric has a high jump you can power up by squatting. You have to travel around Europe in the midst of World War I trying to stop Elizabeth Bathory from reviving Dracula. Which ultimately fails, and Dracula is revived for the final boss fight. The atmosphere, although it starts off strong in the first level with zombies and graveyards, the Atlantis Temple stage might be a cool concept, but its mythology-centered enemies kind of kill the spooky horror vibe, feeling more akin to Ray Harryhausen's Jason and the Argonauts. Like I said, I do like the addition of the gore, but the skeletons in the munitions factory give off more of a Iron Maiden Eddie vibe. The boss on this level looks straight out of Vector Man. Meaning, I can only give the atmosphere for this game a 2.5. The gameplay gets a 3. It's a fun, classic-style Castlevania, and the original is a classic for a reason. Everything feels smooth to play. A good comparison would be the original Castlevania is a Hammer horror Dracula film, and this one falls more in lines with Francis Ford Coppola's Bram Stoker's Dracula. Speaking of Bram Stoker's Dracula,